What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Bird. You know we back on Bird's Eye View with it. Like always, appreciate the love and support. Like, comment, subscribe, share the content. We trying to get to that big 1K. Y'all gotta do, man. Listen, do whatever you gotta do. Share the content. We almost there. Like I said, we just getting started, man. This party just started. Only been doing it for 1 month. We almost at that big 1K, big 1,000. Wow. So we here, man. We definitely trying to get that going. We're gonna jump into it. We're gonna kind of do a little schedule review with Colorado. We're gonna kind of take a look at their schedule. They got a tough schedule year one. I'm not gonna lie, they got a tough schedule year one. But I truly believe though that they could be bowl eligible. Of course, you only need to win 6 games. I truly believe they can win 6 games. I mean, we take a look at the schedule, right? Of course, week 1, we're looking at TCU. Now, I'm going to be real with you. I truly believe that they could take that game at TCU. That TCU team is not going to be as good as last year's team. Of course, they played in the national title game. Well, they showed up for the national title game. They didn't do too much playing, but they showed up for the national title game. And so I'm pretty sure they're going to be nationally ranked just out of respect for them getting to the national title. But they're losing a lot of key pieces on that team, man. And I just don't think that team is going to be as strong as they were this year. And that's going to be a possible game that Coach Prime could steal. First game of the season at TCU. A lot of people are going to doubt them and say they're not going to win that game. That could be a possible game where he can really put them on the map right away, beating TCU at TCU. That Nebraska game is also interesting. Just looking at the rivalry, right? They got 2 back-to-back rivalry games, honestly, when you look at Nebraska and Colorado State. But that Nebraska game is going to be interesting, man. Matt Rule, he's been doing a phenomenal job recruiting. I know he was able to keep the number 1 player in Nebraska, the athlete. He was, going between Colorado and Nebraska. He was able to keep him. So he's getting some other top-level guys as well. So that Nebraska game is going to be pretty interesting. That's going to be the first home game. So it's going to be so much hype around the first home game. You know it's going to be a sellout in Boulder. I still think that's a game that they could win. I feel like they win that home opener against Nebraska. So we're looking at 2-0 right now, right? Now, of course, that's a big stretch. But I really think they get that TCU game. And I believe they get Nebraska. So we're looking at Colorado State. That's the 3rd game of the season. Another big-time rivalry game. That's just a game I feel like Colorado is going to win for sure. I just feel like that they're going to beat that Colorado State team. So now you're looking at 3-0 going into the Oregon game. Now that Oregon game at Oregon in Eugene, that's going to be a tough one for them to pull out. I feel like they get their first loss of the season there. Then they come back home. I feel like they play a tough game against USC. That could also be a loss as well, though. I feel like that's going to be a tough one for them. That's going to be 2 back-to-back games. I feel like they may get beat up a little bit in that Oregon game just because it's going to be a physical game, against Oregon. At Oregon, I know that's going to be a sellout too. So that's just going to be a super competitive, high-intense game against Oregon. I feel like they dropped 2 in a row. They lose to Oregon, they use USC, so they're 3-2. Now we're looking at Arizona State. I feel like they beat Arizona State in Arizona. So now they're 4-2 going into the Stanford game. They come back home in Boulder. So we're looking at 5-2. They beat Stanford. So now they're 5-2. So now they go back on the road. They go back to California. They play at the Rose Bowl against UCLA. I feel like that'll be another tough one as well. I think UCLA squeaks that one out. So now we're looking at 4-3, 5-3. Yeah, because we got TCU, Nebraska, Colorado State, Arizona State, Stanford. That's 5. And then the 3 losses so far, Oregon, USC, UCLA. Okay, so we're looking at 5-3, right? Now, the back end, the last stretch, the home stretch of the season, they got the homecoming game against Oregon State. That's going to be an interesting ball game there. That Oregon State team is not a slouch. I feel like that team is still going to be playing some good football. Now, we don't know what DJ Uiagalelei is going to look like in that Oregon State uniform. We don't know what that offense is going to look like yet. Now, could he revitalize his career and turn up at Oregon State? Strongly possible. So that's going to be a game where, you're just going to have to see how Oregon State is looking, how they're playing with him under the helm. But homecoming, 5-3. Oh, let's see. I don't know, man. What y'all... You know what? I think both Oregon teams beat them. I think they lose to Oregon and they lose to Oregon State. I got them 5-4 at that point. Then they play Arizona. They beat Arizona. They're 6-4. They beat Washington. They're 7-4. So we're looking at it right now, right? 4 losses. They lose to the 2 Oregon schools. They lose to the 2 California schools. I feel like they lose to Oregon State, USC, UCLA. Those are their 4 losses. They beat TCU, Nebraska, Colorado State, Arizona State. That's 4. Stanford, that's 5. Arizona, that's 6. So you're looking at 6-4. Then Washington State, they're 7-4. Then they go at Utah to end the season. That's going to be a nail biter. That's going to be a tough game right there for them. I don't have them beating Utah. So we're looking at 7-5. I think they go 7-5. They play in the bowl game. Of course, you don't know who they're going to play in the bowl game, but I feel like they can win a bowl game, depending on who they play, who they're going to get. But I feel like they can win. I feel like they can win that bowl game at that point, as long as they're healthy. They're playing well. They got all the guys rolling. I feel like they can win that game. So I got them going 7-5. Bowl game appearance, possibly win that bowl game. So that's an 8-5 season. I got them going 8-5 for sure. We'll see. But I just want to see you guys comment. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. Do Colorado win at least 6 games? Are they bowl eligible? If so, how many games do they win? Can they win a bowl game? I got them going 7-5 in the regular season, winning a bowl game, going 8-5. I just want to see what you guys think. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the content. Again, hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. We're trying to grow the channel as far as we can. We almost at that big 1,000. Wow. So again, thank y'all. Appreciate it. Bird's Eye View.